We are making Chewy Chocolate Bars. They're only 6 ingredients and they are vegan, gluten-free, and paleo. I know you guys are gonna love this recipe. So easy to make and they are absolutely delicious. So thank you for joining me today. So let's just hop right into it. Today I'm starting with my food processor and I'm gonna share all my little tips and tricks along the way so you get all that, and feel free to ask questions down below. Okay, so I literally just bought this food processor. Let me turn this a little bit so you can see everything that's going on. So I literally bought the food processor today because my other one's broken, and I know I've mentioned that a bunch of times in my live videos, but it was driving me bonkers. So bought this one, it only cost me $100, so that was great. And so when you're starting with the recipe, you want to make sure that the food processor is dry, so fully dried down, because I want to grind the nuts and the seeds down nice and fine. Okay, so almonds are going in and some hemp seeds. So this is gonna be, they're so healthy, like you won't even believe you're eating something so healthy because it tastes so good. I'm using Alligga Hemp Cores, so hemp hearts. Shoot, I need my measuring cup. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So let's get those in there. All right. And so, and one other most important ingredient. I know you guys know that I love this ingredient so much. A pinch of salt. Because remember, it always pops the flavors and it's adding minerals, so never be afraid of salt. Okay, my top is going on. And I'm just gonna grind this up until it's nice and fine. So this is another tip right here. In this recipe or these types of recipes, whether you're doing crusts for cheesecakes or power balls, things like that, don't be afraid to really let the food processor run and grind everything down nice and fine. It's just gonna create a better texture, unless you want something chunky. But if you want that sort of like, today, of course, we're doing a chewy texture, so I want to make sure that everything is really, really processed down. Okay, it's gonna get loud. Sorry. Grab the spatula and a knife. Okie. And I apologize if I've missed any questions. Please write them in again. Okay, this is, it's pretty fine. For the sake of today, we're gonna leave it like that. All right, so next ingredient is cacao powder going in. Of course, this is going to become an IGTV after the fact, so you'll be able to get all the written instructions and the full recipe there right after. Okay, I think this might have had a little bit of water in it, so now it's sticking. So that is 3 ingredients so far. We won't count the salt. And next we have dates. So I've gone ahead and these are medjool dates and I've chopped them up. This is just gonna help the food processor. So of course you could just pit them and throw them in, but this is just gonna make life a little bit easier for processing. Okay, and there's one more secret ingredient that's coming next, so stay tuned. So we're just gonna process this. Okay, so check it out after a little bit of processing. Check it out. Ooh, yes, it's looking good. Okay, so everything needs to be nicely, fully ground down here. And at this point, we have a crumbly texture just like so. All right, now, my ingredient is kind of not really an ingredient, but this is gonna make everything tie together, and it's water. So this is how I'm gonna get the nice chewy aspect, is by adding the water. So make sure to add it, and it kind of depends, like if your dates are a little bit more moist, maybe you don't have to add quite as much water. If your dates are a little bit more dry, you may have to add a little bit more water, but you're gonna be looking for a certain kind of texture. So I'll blend this in and then I'll show you. Okay. Hold on. The joys. Okay, I'm gonna get in with the knife. So it's all really coming together now. And I can see, you can also use your hands a bit. Oh yes, this is exactly what I want. So it actually is a little bit sticky to the touch, and that is okay. So, and it holds together. You know it's all good when you can pick up a piece of the dough and it's all good like this. You can squeeze it in your hands and give it a little taste test. You know, gotta make sure we like it. But seriously, yummy yum, so good. But you're looking for the flavor that you like. And it's gonna be different for all of us, you know? You might like it to be a little bit more, like less sweet, a little bit more bitter. So you can add some more cacao powder. If it's still a little bit dry, add a little bit more water. An ingredient I forgot to put in here is vanilla, which is optional, but honestly, this still tastes amazing. Just don't forget your salt. Okay, so I have it here, my ball. I'm gonna set this aside. Oh, you go over there. Okay. Now, here I've got a little pan or a little container. I've lined it with parchment paper. And the parchment or plastic wrap is important here because I'm gonna press the dough in. And what you wanna do, I'm gonna chill it. And then what you're gonna be able to do is literally lift the whole thing out. So you're gonna be able to go like this and place it onto your cutting board. It's gonna be nice and chilled, it's gonna firm up, and then you're gonna cut your bars, okay? So that's why we're doing the parchment, and also because this is a bit sticky, if you don't use the parchment or the plastic wrap, it's just gonna stick right into the bottom there, okay? So that's a secret right there. Make sure to do that. So I'm just pressing this with my hands. Chef's best friend, I always say, your hands are your best tool. And you can use any container of your choice here. So the container you use will give you like the thickness that you want. So if you want them to be thicker, use a smaller container. If you want them to be a little bit more flat, then use a larger container, okay? So there we are, just like that. And at this point, there we go. You're just gonna pop this into either the fridge or the freezer for a lesser amount of time until, oh, I'm making a nice mess. Everything I touch is getting all stickified. Just until this firms up, okay? And then you pull it out and you slice it. So that was easy, right? That was really easy. Like I said, only a few ingredients. That part's done. Okay, now let's set up for the next part, the chocolate dipping. Okay, got a few more things. So over on the stove, I have been melting some chocolate. Here we go, okay? Just some dark chocolate chips, easy peasy, with a little bit of coconut oil. The coconut oil allows the chocolate to thin out and make for easier covering of whatever you're dipping into it. All right, so here is sort of, ooh, look at that. I just love that. It mesmerizes me. Okay, so it's looking good. To melt chocolate, you always want to put it on over a pot of hot water on the stove. The water shouldn't be touching the chocolate or the bowl. Now, mine's wet only because of the condensation. It's not actually touching it. And then you just want to melt it over low heat. And the other thing with chocolate is no water. You want to make sure that the bowl, your utensils, everything that you're using is dry, because chocolate and water do not mix, my friends. Otherwise, you know, you can have a seized mixture. It's going to separate. It's just going to do all these awful things. So dry, always dry, okay? Dry bowl, dry everything. So this is all ready to go. You want to have a parchment paper lined tray. I've got this. I've got my fork. That's going to be my dipping tool. And then you've got the chilled bars, okay? One other thing over here, but this comes in a minute. Okay, so you can see after you chill the bars, they're hard, so it was like that soft, pliable dough, and now they've firmed up. And I'm simply going to dunk it into the, okay, let's see. I want you to be able to see this. Okay, so it's going into the chocolate, a little chocolate bath. I'm gonna use the fork to flip it over. Now it's completely coated. It's as simple as that. Lift, tap, tap, tap. Drag the fork along the edge of the bowl to release the excess, and then place it down onto the parchment. Just like that, slip the fork out, boom. And it's nice and clean. There we go. And so you're just gonna do that with all of the bars, but I have another option for you. Tap, 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 drag, and place down. Okay, so the other option is if you don't want to do bars, you can do balls. And this is really great. One of the reasons I wanted to share this recipe now is that these are perfect for the holidays. So you could do up a little gift box for somebody with treats, and you could do the balls or you could do the bars, either or a little mixture, or squares, whatever you want. Okay, so same idea here, dragging it, and then I'm placing it down and kind of just wiggle the fork out just like that. Because I love to gift treats and edible things for the holidays. I honestly think that's one of the best gifts you can give, right? Consumables, people will always enjoy them. And it comes from the heart. Okay, so I just wanted to do a few of those to show you. So the next thing I need to do is, before I do the rest, or like the final touch, I'm gonna slip these into the fridge. Oh Lordy, please, is there room in here? I forgot to think about that. Hold tight. Yes. And it doesn't take long for the chocolate to harden up. So just a few minutes in there, and I'll just start talking about the toppings. Okay, let's just rinse the hands off. Make some space. Actually, let's put this back over here for a second. Okay, so for my toppings, I have some chopped almonds, some more of the hemp seeds, and I have some almond butter. And then I'm gonna do a chocolate drizzle. So I'm gonna show you, but that needs to harden. It didn't take long at all. This is live time, and they're firm. Okay. All right, chocolate back. You with me? All right, you can see. So here's what we're gonna do to make them really pretty. Now, if you want, this is optional, this part, of course. What you can do is simply do a chocolate drizzle over the top. You know, like here on my ball, I'll just do a chocolate, just like that. Okay, a little bit of chocolate, drizzle, drizzle, drizzle. And we have that look. Okay, but I'm sure you probably saw the ones on my Instagram post and in my stories. So to do that, here's what we do. We take a little bit of the almond butter, not too much, okay? We do a little dab down at one end of the bar, and then we drag it all the way down with the back of the spoon, okay? Can you see that? Just like that. So we're just dragging, we're just plopping it, and then like that. Okay, do you like the sound effects? I always do that. I don't know why, but I do. So I'm gonna do another one. So, oops, I've got too much on my spoon. You don't wanna get too much on your spoon or it starts getting messy, okay? So just a bit here, and then slide. Slide it down. So do all of them at one time, this part. Okay, just like that. There we go. So I've got the 3. And now I'm going to sprinkle just a few hemp seeds on top. Okay. And some of my chopped almonds. You can kind of sprinkle or strategically place them. All right. Make it nice and pretty. This is someone's holiday gift, right? You want to make it nice. Okay. Hey, any ideas of recipes that you'd like me to share for the holidays? Leave a little comment and we will do it. I have some ideas. Okay, now we're gonna do a chocolate drizzle over all of these, okay? So I've got my fork actually, well, sometimes I like a fork better, sometimes I like a spoon. Let's just go for it. So there we go. Woohoo! Voila, my friends. Okay, I want a little bit more pop of color on the top. I'm making everything chocolatey here. And one final sprinkle on the top, okay? To kind of set it all off. There. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. There we have it. What do you think of that? Woohoo! Dun, da, da, da. We have the ones that I already finished here. And there we have it. I better just take a bite here, right? Enjoy the fruits of my labor. Okay. Oh. Oh God. It's so soft and chewy on the inside. It's so yummy. Wow. The other thing is, if you want to pump up the flavor, you can add some almond extract. You could make chocolate mint ones and add some peppermint in here. You can do almond orange, add some orange essential oil or some orange zest in here. So you can just take this base recipe and then tweak it and do a bunch of different flavor variations. Yeah. I wish I could send this through the screen to you. I really do. All right, guys, let's just take one more bite of this. That's so good. Okay. I'm sending you so much love. Mwah. Have a great evening or a great day, great morning, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.